Hello, I'm Tom Rawlings with Homegrown Leadership. You know, I have always wanted to fly a plane. Ever since I was in high school anyway, I have wanted to fly a plane. And so several years ago, I finally got my wife to agree to allow me to take flying lessons. Well, we flew around for a while. After several months, my flight instructor said to me one day, he said, "Tom, I think you're about ready to do cross countries." Cross country is just flying to another airport instead of just flying circles around the airport you're at and doing touch and goes. And I was thrilled. I would love to fly to another airport. This is the next progression in my flight training. And what he said was, he said, "Tom, there's a little difference now between flying to another airport than just doing touch and goes at your own airport." So we got in the plane and he said, now you're going to need to do something different than you have done. He said, what you're going to need to do is stay ahead of the plane. He said, by that I mean you need to begin to anticipate what's coming next. Rather than just take off and then take care of everything in the air and plan your next go around for a touch and go, what you need to do is you need to be prepared for what's coming. So before we even did our pre-flight run-up or anything, or contacted ground to move and taxi to the runway, he had me check my chart and see where we were going. What is my route? I need to pick out a couple of landmarks so that I know where I should be in relation to the plane at what point in time. I had to look for the frequency of that airport, my destination airport. And I went ahead and set my radios right then before I even took off, set my radio to the frequency of my destination airport. He said the difference is if you try to do all this when you're in the air, you're having to do too many things and you can miss what's coming up. Getting in the air and I'm listening to ATC instructions for me and changing my radio to the frequencies that they want me to change to, and then having to look up the frequency of my destination airport and try to tune a radio to that, and then I'm looking for landmarks on the chart as I'm going and watching for other planes in the air while I'm flying, you miss things. That's where you make mistakes. So he said, stay ahead of the plane and do these things right up front. And that was invaluable information. Since my destination airport was only about 10 minutes away, I really didn't have time to do all those things once I was in the air. Once I taxied and took off in the air, all I had to do was listen to ATC instructions until they handed me off and then just switch radios, and I was already at the frequency of my destination airport. I could already hear traffic at that airport. I could check for landmarks along the way since I knew what I was looking for ahead of time. Rather than get in the air and then try to see where I was heading to and find landmarks and look for them or listen to ATC and then set my radios, I was already prepared. And this got me thinking, you know, the same is true for church services. We need to stay ahead of the service. How many times have you been in the service and you've had a video come up, for example, and there's no video there? You're doing an announcement and a slide is supposed to be shown with the announcement and there's nothing there, or the wrong slide is there. Or this is a great one, someone grabs the mic and there's nothing there. They weren't prepared for what was coming up next. The sound team wasn't prepared. The media team wasn't prepared. So at Homegrown Leadership, we've come up with a tool that we'd like to provide you free. We call it the service script. It's been called a media script by some of those who have used it. They provide it to their media team, sound team, lighting team, even the praise team. You can, it's totally scalable, customizable. It's just a template for you to use. We'd like to provide this for you free. If you'd like to use this, it would help your team. Just click the link that accompanies this video. It'll take you to a page. Download your service script and take advantage of that. We hope that this helps you, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Homegrown Leadership. Thanks.